I am Mr. Nagesh R. Tambake, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Today we are going to discuss Automobile Transmission System Part 3, Learning Outcome. At the end of this session, students will be able to explain fundamentals of transmission system and different types of clutches of an automobile. In this particular session, we are going to discuss definition of transmission system, function of transmission system, requirements of transmission system, centrifugal clutch, semi-centrifugal clutch, electromagnetic clutch. Definition of transmission. Before going to definition, please tell me what is transmission. Okay, let it be. The transmission is a device that is connected to the back of the engine and sends the power from the engine to the driving wheel. Purpose of the transmission is to provide high torque at the time of starting the engine, hill climbing, accelerating and pulling on a road. So this is what the transmission system is. Now we'll see the function of transmission system. The torque produced by engine varies with speed only with narrow limits. The transmission also provides a neutral position, a means to back the car by reversing the direction of rotation of the drive. Now we'll see the requirements. It should fix the required speed to the vehicle. It should vary the speed of the output shaft. It should provide high torque when climbing hills and when starting. It would be more preferable to have just the wheel alone turning at high speed. It serves to reserve the since engine can run in one direction. It should also help to keep the vehicle in neutral position without stopping the engine. That is why we require the transmission system. Now first one is the centrifugal clutch. So how this centrifugal clutch works and how it is constructed. In this particular figure you can see there is a weight which is a spring loaded weight which is attached, and on that weight the friction lining material is present. So whenever the driving shaft rotates, that time what will happen? Due to centrifugal force, the weights are moving away from each other due to centrifugal force, and they try to engage with the outer wheel which is connected to driven shaft. So whenever the speed increases, that time this friction lining material with spring load is connected to the outer wheel firmly, and one condition will arise. At that condition, the driving shaft speed is equal to driven shaft speed. So likewise the centrifugal clutch works, and due to that what will happen? The power is transmitted, and whenever the speed is less, that time there is disengagement automatically, and the required purpose that can be solved with the help of this particular clutch. So this particular clutch is also called as automatic clutch. This do not require any pedal or any pedal force. And here you can see there is F is equal to mr omega square speed force that is acting over the spring loaded weight, and whenever it is going away from each other, that time it is engaged to the outer wheel and the power is transmitted to the driven shaft. Now working of centrifugal clutch is given over here. Here you can see in the first position there is outer drum casing which is connected to the driven shaft. In the center there is a driving shaft. To the driving shaft the shoes are connected, and on the shoes high friction material is there. Now in the first position the clutch is stationary. In the second position you can see the clutch is in motion. So whenever the clutch is getting motion high speed, that time due to the weight, the shoes are attracted outside or they are going away from the center due to centrifugal force, and they are trying to connect with the outer drum, and they try to transmit the inner velocity to the outer drum, and that drum, as it is connected to the outer shaft, driving wheel is getting the motion from this driving shaft. So likewise the centrifugal clutch works. Advantages of centrifugal clutch: simple and inexpensive and need little maintenance. The centrifugal clutch is automatic. Any kind of control mechanism is not necessary. It helps to prevent the engine from stalling. The engagement speed can precisely control by selecting spring. Now we will see the disadvantages of centrifugal clutch. Loss of power due to friction and slipping. This type of clutch is not appropriate for high amount of torque. The shoes will slip at heavy loaded condition. It engages at full or near full power. Shoes get heated very quickly, may cause overheating. Now we will see the applications. Centrifugal clutch found applications in the chainsaw, in the lawn mower. The centrifugal clutch engages after a particular speed limit, so they used to disengage the engine when starting and idling. Next one is semi-centrifugal clutch. As the name indicates, semi-centrifugal clutch, it is operating on the principle of centrifugal clutch in the half portion, and in the half portion is like a conventional clutch it is behaving. So you can see in the construction there is a lever which is having a spring loaded weight which is fixed inside the pressure plate, and on the other side you can see there is a clutch spring. So what will happen in this case? In this case it is behaving reverse to the centrifugal clutch. How it is? It is also having three members: driving member, driven member, and in between there is a clutch plate. As the motion is transmitted from the engine towards the flywheel rotates with a constant speed. To this flywheel the friction plate is attached, and over the friction plate there is a pressure plate, and inside the pressure plate you can see there is a clutch spring and there is a spring loaded lever. So what will happen? So due to low speed, here the clutch is already engaged, and whenever the speed increases, that time it is having firm engagement, and whenever the speed decreases, that time what will happen? The clutch is disengaged at the lever position, and whenever you apply the pedal, that time it is disengaged at the clutch spring. So in both way it is acting. Therefore here whatever the effort of the driver to apply the clutch is there, that is required less due to this spring loaded lever. That is what the advantage of this centrifugal clutch. So half of the clutch is automatic and half of the clutch is manual. Therefore this particular clutch is also called as semi-automatic clutch. Advantages of semi-centrifugal clutch: clutch operation is very easy. Less stiff clutch springs are used as they operate only at low engine speed. Disadvantages: springs have transmitted the torque at lower engine speeds only. Centrifugal forces work only at higher engine speed to transmit torque. Applications: semi-centrifugal clutch is used in Vauxhall car. Next one is electromagnetic clutch. You can see in this figure how the electromagnetic clutch is constructed. Electromagnetic clutch works on the principle of electromagnetic principle. There is an engine shaft which is connected to the flywheel. In between there is a clutch plate, and to the right side there is a pressure plate. Inside the flywheel itself the winding is present, and due to which when the current is passed continuously, then what will happen? The pressure plate is attracted towards the flywheel due to electromagnetic force, and when the power supply is closed, then the clutch is disengaged. So whenever the clutch pedal is applied, that time the power supply will not be there. That time what will happen? The clutch is in engaged position. So likewise the electromagnetic clutch works. Advantages of electromagnetic clutch: it is easy to control, rapid response time, start and stop are smooth, less wear and tear at the contact point, mostly used to achieve automatic transmission, no linkage is required to operate the clutch. Disadvantages of electromagnetic clutch: high initial cost, not suitable for high temperature, during engagement risk of overheating, a periodic check should be done for coil brushes. Now the applications: they can be used for remote application because they do not require linkage to actuate the clutch. They are used in printing machinery, conveyor drives, copier machines and factory automation. In an automobile, it replaces clutch pedal by a simple switch button. A small electromagnetic clutch is used to drive the compressor of air conditioning system. These are the references. Thank you.